Oh, no.
Yes.
I got one.
She's good. I know. These are so like, when you get on a roll, it's like.
Okay, our online Sangha is coming back in just about 30 seconds. You tilt it up a little bit, you know.
I got yours in your pocket. I had one. What did I do? Oh, you got another.
Oh, did I just steal yours?
You have another one? And then take that one.
I'll take another.
Can I play out? She took my Play-Doh. She took my Play-Doh.
Welcome back. Online Sangha, can you hear us okay? We have a bustling center this morning. Hang in there. So please unmute yourself and let us know if the audio is getting a little wonky. We want you to be participating with us this morning because it is a great honor this morning to introduce Jacqui Genshin, who is, good morning. She is a licensed marriage, couples, family therapist and licensed professional counselor. She's extensively trained in parent coaching and is certified as an advanced grief counseling specialist for children and adolescents, a clinical trauma professional, and a mindfulness-informed professional. Currently in private practice, Jacqui also offers family dynamic seminars to providers that service children with developmental differences and their families. She's been a member of ZLMC for over 6 years, co-stewards the Open Heart Circle, and is such a wonderful addition to our Sangha. So
Very sweet.
thank you for being here and for speaking this morning. I'm going to move a microphone over to you, because I think we'll need the double. Yeah. Amelia, can you close the door behind you, please?
I have an extra plate out here. I think you got her. Yes, you just need one. I don't need one. I don't need one. Okay. You can give that to me.
I can hear a microphone.
Okay. Okay. Testing. Hello, everybody out there. Good to see everybody. Thanks, everyone, for being here. We have quite a lot of people, which is wonderful, because that's what makes love go around, is having people to go around it with, or with it around, however that is said. All right, so as you can imagine, I've got a few little jitters, like anybody would. I mean, even though I teach and do things like that, it's like all eyes on me, and it's funny because when I was little, that's what I wanted, right? We're talking about parenting. I just wanted everyone to pay attention to me, and now I'm just like, okay, all of you just talk to each other. I just want to start by asking everybody to just breathe a little bit, right? Because that is what we do when we come together as a collective, is just breathe a little bit, help me breathe and put some spaciousness in the room so we can have some open-heartedness as we get ready to talk about the art of imperfect parenting, which we'll kind of do a deep dive. So just join me for just a few seconds and okay, I should start by saying that everybody, well, at least in the room here, has our flyer for the mindfulness and the art of imperfect parenting. And this is a course that's going to be happening in October. And I would encourage everybody to kind of take a look at the bullets of what is going to be presented in this course, because we certainly want to ask you to come and ask you to share this with people that might be parenting, caregiving. Sometimes we're parenting our parents, sometimes we're parenting even in our relationships. So the idea of parenting really open up this idea of providing some kind of guidance, providing some kind of openness, helping to lead another person or persons on a path that could be healthy and wholesome, and full of wellness. So while we definitely want to have our parents in here, I think there's a lot that's going to be expressed in this course that would be helpful. So something that my mother would say to me all the time is, you know, Jacqui, it's not like when I gave birth to you, I held you in my arms and said, I can't wait to screw up your life. Okay? Right? And she would say that to me whenever I would complain about her parenting, okay? And as a therapist, I can tell you that a good majority of people that come into therapy come in to tell me how their parents caused every problem that ever happened in their life. So the good news is, no matter what you do and how well you do it, there's a good chance that someone's gonna go pay for therapy to blame you for everything that they don't wanna take a look at, okay? So first of all, you know, that's kind of a first piece. And as we go through this, I hope that if anyone in this room or anyone listening has any pieces of guilt or shame or regret, begin to kind of let that go if you can. You know, and that's what's so special about a meditation practice, is to be able to really take some time and go inside and feel those places inside of ourselves that cause us trouble with moving forward. And those kind of things and feelings actually do get in the way of continued healthy parenting. Because when we hold those kind of feelings and those little mini or major traumas, they are corrosive, okay? They're corrosive to kindness. They're not helpful to the people that we're caring for. And believe it or not, when we have those kind of emotions and feelings, and we'll get into that a little bit, our children notice. Our children do notice when we're suffering. You know, younger people, they're very, very keen, they're very, very intuitive and very insightful. And if we've ever really listened to our children or any children of the world, and we really pay attention, that is where in the world we find the core of honesty in humanity. That is where we will hear some things that we never thought we would hear before. And, you know, they hear everything, they feel everything, and they're very forgiving. Children are very forgiving. So keep those things in mind. So imperfect parenting happens all the time, okay? And why is this? Well, one reason is there's no manual. You hear people say, there's no manual to this. It's not like my car or my dishwasher. And even if there was, I don't necessarily think that everybody would use it, because everybody has a desire to guide and teach in their own way. And if we're really attuned, then each one of our children is their own wonderful being. And we aren't trying to institutionalize our children by a certain code. We might have 4 different children, and there's 4 different sets of how we care for them and let them live and let them be who they are. So there's no manual, okay? Another thing is, life doesn't really offer us as parents any timeouts, right? Now we can just do this to our kids, time out, you need to take a time out. That's like the new healthy way, tell our children, you need to take a time out. You need to take a time out. It's a gentle way of being punitive, and there's ways that we can work around that, and we'll talk about that, but we don't get a time out. I don't know that bosses walk over and go, you know, you seem to be stressing a little bit with that data analysis, why don't you take a time out, right? No, it doesn't really happen, so we don't have those. We have ideas that we've learned from society, right, about what perfect parenting is. And really, imperfection, in terms of Buddhist and Zen Buddhist, imperfection is lovely. Imperfection is originality. Imperfection is desirable. Imperfection is not knowing. Those are the tenets, right, that we have here of not knowing, bearing witness, loving kindness. So imperfection means I did not follow a manual. I didn't necessarily listen to what everybody else told me that I have to do. I met my child or my person or the other person exactly where they are. And because I practice a meditation, ritual, or I sit, or whatever your meditation may be or just starting to be, I bring myself. I bring what's genuine and authentic. And I don't know about anybody else, but I know for me, when I'm in a place of joy or suffering, I prefer to be met by someone who just wants to meet me. Not necessarily someone that wants to fix me, change me, alter me, question me, take care of me. Sometimes I need that. But initially, I'd like to be met with some kind of graciousness, because if I'm met that way, and if we meet people and our children that way, we go to them seeing them, hearing them. Okay, and that's what's critical. There's no point in going towards someone to help them if you're not able to be open to hear them and see them. And I will tell you, I'm a classic interrupter. And I used to blame that on having ADHD, but it's not 100% that. It's that I think I know what I need to say. So, you know, I'll throw that out there as like a self-disclosure. Another thing is that we compare ourselves to others. Oh yeah, down the block there, gosh, such great parents, such great parents. What's the help in that? We don't know. You know, our children know a lot about their play friends that we don't know. Our children get together, or young adults, teenagers. You know, we could have our son could be meeting up with a friend of his, and we don't know. Maybe that our child's friend is suffering at the hands of some kind of abuse at home. Our child knows that, we don't. We can't compare our parenting to what other people are doing in their homes. We have no idea what the coupleship is like. We have no idea what the circumstances are like. We don't know anything about anybody else. Another great opportunity to learn. If you really want to model somebody else's parenting, spend some time with them when they're parenting. Not when you're on a play date. Walk in their house right before dinner, when this one isn't getting their homework done, and this one doesn't know how to turn off their phone, and they have a rule to turn off their phone, and the other one's vomiting because they've got an exam they're supposed to make, and the other one's twirling in the kitchen because there's a dance competition, and then the other partner just came home and they're really tired, they can't pay attention, and you're fried. Or pay attention to that if you really want to know what's going on with people before you compare yourselves. Another thing is that we're really not learning about our children as individuals. And I say that, and I don't mean to be insulting when I say that, but I'm talking at a deeper level. We know our kids, we know what they do. But we usually are in this routine where we're checking in about what's going on today, what happened, how did your dance go, how did your gym go, what happened to karate, did your best friend broke up with you, what do you mean, your boyfriend's not, those kind of things. Oh, you made a poopy! You know, we're always paying attention to what's happening right there. But are we sitting down and asking them what their worldview is? Or are we just telling them what we think after we see the news? Are we finding out who these individuals are? What great gifts our kids have to give us. What great lessons we could learn if we gave them some space to talk to us, right? So we're not doing that. And most of the time we're reactive. We don't have time to respond. We don't have time to, I need to think about that one. Okay, so they took $20 out of my wallet. Oh, you're gone, I'm taking your phone, it's over, blah, blah, blah. Wait till your father gets home. Wait till your mother finds out. We're very reactive, right? And that's because usually, whether we have one child or 5, we have to maintain some kind of control in the house. Dinner's at 5, this one's gotta go to volleyball. I need to get to bed by 9, I've got a presentation in the morning. I have strep throat. I can't do this. I gotta do a retreat, right? So in many ways, we're reacting. And one great thing, I think probably the biggest lesson I think for meditation for me as a practice is moving away from reactiveness and really learning that I can settle myself in the moment because I want to help my children. I want to help that person, right? And if I am like, then what's coming forward is my discomfort, my angst, my week, my burnout, right? And we're talking about burnout today. So I think that with meditation and the ability to start to unpack our own delusions about perfection, right? And starting to peel away this idea that I'm not good enough, I'm not the best parent, you know, I've hurt my children, I didn't do the right thing, oh my goodness. We need to be able to take away this idea of what perfection is. We get a chance to start over with that. Because perfection is loving. Loving kindness would be perfection. Even in that, there's room to grow, right? So I will ask to conjure up some thinking from your heart, not your head. When I talk about what do you think, I'm asking from your heart, and these are opportunities to share if you'd like to. What are some negative thoughts that you might recognize about your parenting as it comes up right now and you're hearing me speak about it? If you care to share a delusion, a negative thought about your parenting. Please.
Do I need a microphone for,
Just-
can you hear me online?
Speak up till I get it to you.
Okay. My biggest regret, but I feel most remorse for as a father, was creating a fixed destination of an identity for my kids. Where, if I do my job right, where will they go to college? What will they study? How will they do it? And I don't feel guilty about it anymore because I was doing my best, but I do feel remorse about it. That yeah, I could have, and basically being able to pay that forward to be the kind of dad to the young adults now that a better dad to young adults than I was to teenagers. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Anybody else have something on their heart that they can release right here in this safe Zendo? Okay. If something comes, please just let us know, okay? And if anyone would like to share, what is the narrative, right, that you tell yourself about perfection? What's the story?
Everybody else can live up to it.
Okay, everybody else can live up to it.
My narrative is changing.
Okay,
It used to be the feeling of outside expectations that I could never live up to. And it has changed to, I would say through meditation partly, to being more accepting and compassionate of myself and others.
wonderful. Anybody else have this idea, narrative about perfection? Anyone being parented in this room? Anybody who's got parents that have any expectations? If you didn't get a chance to see that, June may put the microphone in front of her son. Just okay. And then the other question really is, how are we practicing, right? Noticing the activity of our minds. How much time do we spend noticing our minds? I call that our life traffic controller, right? Zip, 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 right? And meditation is a great way to just slow that down. Like Daiyu mentioned, this idea of maybe superimposing what we want is best for our children. And like I said in the beginning, that's not to hurt our children. One of the greatest things we can do as children is to forgive our parents and realize they did the best they could with what they had. Right? It's not easy. It's not easy every decision you make, having to think about these other people as you make them. Right? So, how do we slow that down? How do we slow all that traffic down to be present and really enjoy the relationships with our kids? It's something to think about. So, this is about burnout, so let's get to burnout. Okay? So, a show of hands, right? How many people have felt burnt out in the last 3 months? Okay, how about in the last month? All right, how about the last 2 weeks? Okay, and we have friends up there too. And what about today? Who feels burnt out today? All right, so it's going on, isn't it? And it's good to know that people that you're sitting next to, maybe that you're working with, maybe that you're dealing with, maybe that customer service person who's being really rotten or whatever you think, maybe they're burnt out. Maybe they just got some really bad news and they're doing the best they can to show up for work, right? So what I want to tell everybody is that there's this idea of burnout, right? What I'd like you to think about is a candle burning. And at some point, at the end of the wick, or the end of whatever is running the candle, it's going to burn out. But I'm here to say, what would happen if we had this wonderful idea to intervene before the burnout. Because everybody talks about the burnout moment. I'm done. I can't do this, but I have to go do it tomorrow. You know that feeling where you just want next Monday. You just need all those things that you put on your calendar that you committed to. You just want them to end and you can't get to next Thursday. You can't wait to leave on that trip, or you can't wait for Saturday morning, or those, because we're at the end, right? So the question is, it starts somewhere. The burnout starts at the burn. The minute you light it, you're burning. Okay? Just want to let you know, hopefully that's a hopeful thought. All right, we like that. I mean, life likes it, sure, but we like that. Take a look at your own calendar. We like that, right? So the idea is, how far are you pushing yourself into your own burnout? And what causes this burn? Because some parents will say, oh, this kid, I have my one, she's just, she's just so amazing, I don't have to even worry about her. That's the one that's under the radar. That's the one you better pay attention to before you get some bad news. That's the one that needs some attention and some play dates with, lunch dates with mom, time with dad. That's the one, just because you have a child that isn't asking extra attention, pay attention to the messages there. Nobody likes to go unseen just because they're behaving well. There's a lot of room for affirmation, right? But what causes your burn? Well, I'll tell you some things that do. Number one is grief. If anybody has buried anybody, lost a job, had a diagnosis for their child or for themselves, tried to do something and it wasn't successful, saw somebody they care about have a loss, you are in grief. And if you have not processed that grief, whether it's from when you were 7 or when you were 77, it is coming with you on your burn. You are waking up every day with it, you're going to bed with it. It is part of the burn, it is affecting your parenting. Okay? Another one is trauma. Big T's, little t's. They don't always cause grief, but they're happening. Every time your body goes like that for something, right? It might not be PTSD, and in some cases it might be. Some of us have had maybe those traumatic events in our lives. But we're wired in a way to carry these kind of memories, right? The body keeps the score, there's muscle memory. Wake up every day with it. We sometimes wake up and we think, let me just see what Johnny's gonna do. Then I'll know what kind of day I'm gonna have. And I would be one that says, wake up and meditate. Wake up and meditate. Get up 12 minutes earlier. We don't have to meditate for hours. The intention to meditate, to get up, to sit and to center yourself, to see what comes up, your own stuff, right? Before you funnel it out about other people. See what's coming up, what's hurting you, that's your trauma. Life changes. Life changes are on you when you wake up. You're getting ready to move. It's in a month. It's going on in you. You don't think about it. You don't think about it, but you're burning. You're burning, okay? Maybe you need to go get some body work. Maybe you need to have 2 coffee dates. Maybe less coffee. I don't know, okay? There could be things going on with you and your children, right? Menstrual cycles, midlife crisis, perimenopause, things could be going on with our bodies. Our children are growing, they're changing, right? So there's chemical changes going on in our family. This one's in the bathroom too long. This one doesn't shower when they're supposed to. This, everything's happening with our body. This one woke up and all of a sudden their body is different. They don't know what to do about it. You don't know what, there's changes like that going on. It's the burn. And we're talking about the family cycle, right? Spiritual disconnection. How about that one? And I'm not saying you have to define a God or anything. I'm just saying, what do you lean into in the quiet? Do you have anything you lean into? I mean, here we lean into a meditation practice. We lean into each other in this Sangha, this community, which I hope that everyone here, there's so many people here that we haven't seen before, and I hope it's not the first and last time. I hope that we see you again and hope that you have felt welcomed and warm and comfortable here in this refuge, this place that we have. But yeah, spiritual disconnect is really rough. What happens if you can't say help in your private moments, in your quiet moments? Everybody needs to be able to say help, especially if we don't have our parents anymore. or if our parents might have Alzheimer's, or if our parents are unwell. That was a tender moment, I think, all around the room, so we'll just hold that for a moment. And that's enough for now. And then there's relational issues. What's going on in the coupleship in that home? What's going on in the dynamic of mother-daughter, mother-son, father-daughter, father-son, husband-wife, mom living in the basement, dad living upstairs, a couple dogs and cats? What's our relationships like right there at home if we're living by ourselves? How do we wake up and love ourselves in the morning? What am I gonna do? Am I gonna date myself today? You know, right? Are we falling in love with ourselves when we start the day? All right. What about diet and nutrition? I'm definitely a 7 Twinkie person. I cut it down. I'm watching my health. It's taken me almost 60 years, but I'm doing it now. I'm doing it. I'm finally accepting my type 2 diabetes. I don't know what I was thinking the last 22 years, like I didn't have it, but that's my burn. That's been my burn. Blaming everything else, right? We blame our children, but we're burning. We're not taking care of ourselves, all right? And then there's different things that go on with us chemically, our hormones, things are happening in our bodies. Are we producing too much cortisol? I know I am. That's a stress hormone. I gotta go take care of that at the end of the month. That's okay, because I can, but that's causing my burn. It's affecting how I'm reacting to people. If I'm like, am I gonna go check that out? What's up with that? Do I wanna be that person? Do I wanna live in that kind of momentum and be like that around people and walk away and be like, why did I just snap? Why did I just do that? Spent a lot of time in my life doing that. And then we have family and friends we talked about that might be unwell. So there's this little message being like, I'm gonna lose that person. How do I help that person? What do I do? And that comes with us. That's our burn, right? And then we have stuff with our jobs. Are we losing our job, making our job, passing the exam if we're back in school? So these are just some examples to give you an idea that we're burning. We don't have to be focused on the burnout. There's so much we can do to catch all those things and help ourselves flow in life and not be like, right? We can flow. We can pay attention. That's what meditation's about, paying attention, okay? So what's essential about meditation and mindfulness is awareness. That's something that we get from meditating, okay? We get awareness. And what do we mean by that? Okay, what are the earliest signs of your burn? What's happening to you physically? What's happening to you emotionally? How can you tell? Does anybody in here have any way they can tell when they're burning? Now that we're talking about burning, anybody want to bring up what they notice about their body, psychologically, their relationships? Take a second. What starts to happen when you start to burn? Now, please.
Yeah, I just kind of go to negative thinking.
Can you hear?
So when I'm starting to burn, I go to negative thinking, either about the situation or whatever. If my thoughts just are sort of uncharacteristically negative, it's like, oh, okay, what do I need here?
Right.
That's not my norm.
Okay, so recognizing when you're not acting like yourself. Mm-hmm. Right. Is that mic working?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanna make sure.
They're both on. Over here.
Over here, Lizendo.
I get a true gut reaction. I start feeling nauseous or just not being able to digest well. So it really hits my gut.
Okay. So this kind of feeling inside, something's off.
Cloudy. So like sometimes I can't even hear the negative thoughts. It's just like I'm so tired and cloudy and just want to lay down and go to bed.
Okay, so whoa. Right, you're kind of in this a mess. Anybody else? What do you notice when you're starting to burn?
Over here, over here.
I clench my teeth.
Okay.
Very,
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Over here.
Right here, yeah.
Catastrophic thinking,
Oh,
not just
yes.
negative, but catastrophic.
Okay, impending doom. Why was I born? mean, I don't want to like, whatever myself, but like, what's the point, right? Okay.
Online, Robin?
I get crabby.
Crabby, yeah, we can tell. Yeah, y'all can break out, we have Play-Doh here. Anyone that hasn't started with their Play-Doh, please break it out. There's no special time. I would recommend that everybody has Play-Doh in their life. Have Play-Doh on your desk, in the bathroom, in your pocket. Don't get near Junmei, she pockets them. She took mine. But and I'll tell you later if we have time about the power of Play-Doh, because we started a little bit over, so I might take advantage of that. But yeah, Play-Doh is very powerful, and I'm sorry you don't have that in front of you, but anytime you know that I'm talking, get some Play-Doh, because there's going to be Play-Doh involved, I promise you. We all need to play. We all need to be little, right? Okay, so we look at the early signs. So one of the things about meditation is that we get awareness. Well, look at me. But not like in an ego way, right? Not in a self-centered way, but wow. And the wonderful thing about a meditation practice is that we can begin to cultivate ways to change the way our mind is telling us that we need to live and we need to behave and think about ourselves, right? Because we start to live from our hearts when we really know what's going on inside. And another thing that happens from meditation is this thing called attention to ourselves, not just awareness, but how do we pay attention to ourselves throughout the day? Not just when we get up, we take 10, 15 minutes and brush our teeth and clean whatever we clean and make that coffee or that tea and I'm taking care of myself. I'm having that tea coffee now. Boom, and then it ends because we go out into the world and we start doing stuff. So what does it look like? So I'm going to make some suggestions that might help, and one of them is called a Burnout and Rejuvenation Journal. Oh, come on. Jacqui, I don't like to write. I don't like to write. That's not my jam. I like to be on my phone. So then do it on the notepad on your phone. Forget the pen and paper. Do it into the voice thing, the voice recorder on your phone. Take use of your phone. Get off of TikTok and start talking to yourself. You know? Oh boy, good morning, me. You can record it. I'm gonna have a lovely day. Yes, I am, because that's my option. And things are gonna come, and thank you for waking me up today. Because there's nothing that's going to happen today that I would prefer to not wake up. That's me. Right? So, what does it look like? So this journal, the acronym is PIES, P-I-E-S. I like food. My acronyms will usually be food, but it's PIES. And so what we're tracking, right, burnout, is what is physically burning me out today? What am I noticing that's physically burning me out? And then what can I do to rejuvenate that? What is the opposite behavior for me? Okay, I'm running to this, I'm running to that. Oh my gosh, I can feel it in my sciatic. Okay, what's the opposite? I need to get on the floor and do those exercises from physical therapy that I don't do unless I'm at physical therapy. Right? Okay? So the P stands for physical. The I stands for intimate. How intimate am I being? How honest am I being with myself? I really don't want to go to that family function. I don't know how to tell them. So I'm going to carry that burn into all my parenting for the next 2 weeks because I don't want to go to that graduation party. Or maybe I'll develop strep throat, or maybe I'll take a vacation so I don't have to lie. But be true to yourself. We don't know the outcome, right? But the intimacy with yourself and others. So write in the journal, what am I doing that's just not authentic? How am I burning here? And then rejuvenate yourself with something that's intimate. Define intimacy for yourself. People have different definitions. Some people think that it's physical. Some people think that it's emotional. Some people think that it's listening, paying attention. We don't know, right? And then E is emotional. What's going on with me emotionally? Ooh, I'm off the chart. I'm burning emotionally. Now, feelings and emotions, people have different ideas. I'm going to say it this way, you can take it or not, but feelings are what happen inside. And there's a lot of discussion if you get into mindfulness about perception and feelings and what comes first and what kicks off what. But emotions are how they come out of you, how you emote them, whether you punch a wall, give a hug, scream, cry, keep it in. That's your emotion, okay? So that's what the E is. Where am I burning emotionally? And what can I do to rejuvenate myself? And then the S is my spiritual. Where am I spiritually disconnected? Where am I burning spiritually? Where do I feel like I have no refuge? I have no safe place, okay? So that's something you can do. Make time for your feelings. If you have to go in the bathroom in the middle of a something class, right? You're in class, you can't stand your teacher. Person next to you, right? You're sitting next to someone and she's mean person alert. Or maybe you're a mean person and you can't help it and you don't want to be a mean person. Like when you have that coupleship argument, right? And you just turn over and you're like, I want to say I'm sorry, but I just can't do it. Sometimes we just can't, right? Go in the bathroom, look in the mirror and be like, who cares? Have you ever, what's that movie, Inside Out? Haven't we all seen it? Right? Do it, get it out, emote it somehow, okay? Weed the garden, super fast. Get it out of you, do something, right? So work on yourself and give yourself your feelings. And then take 5. Take 5. Okay? It's okay to say, I need to go to the bed. Excuse me, Miss So-and-so, go. Take a break from work. Take a break from your family. Hey, everybody, burn the house down. I need 5, okay? That's a really drastic way, but I'll talk in a minute about how you can cultivate ways where your family will help you, your children will help you take what you need to help them. As long as they understand that's the reason. Children are happy to help you. Get it together and pull it together, Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa. All right, get a grip, please. All right? So you take 5, and taking breaks is not indulgent. It's not luxury, okay? It's a necessity. It's a necessity. All right. So other things you can do that will help you with your burn, right, is you can go to therapy, you can do massage and Reiki, you can even learn how to do those things because giving is a really great way to help you with your burn. And there's practices to learn how to not be oversaturating and overextending in your giving, right? We call that idiot compassion, don't we? And then there's parent groups. Go to them. I don't really want to go to a parent group because then everyone's going to know that I'm struggling with parenting. Oh, so are the people in there. They're there too. Right? And you might offer something really helpful because you have a different family. Every family is unique, right? So you can do that. Have some hobbies. Have some hobbies. You listen to some music, you like the way the flute sounds? Get a flute. Right? I did. I have to start playing it, but it looks really good on my altar, but I have to start playing it more. And nature, everybody talks about nature. If you can't get out, bring nature in. Maybe a turtle? I don't know. Does anybody know, are turtles really hard to take care of? The turtles are pretty simple, right? A fish, one of those. Oh my goodness, look at, we have a Play-Doh turtle. What else? Does anybody else have any Play-Doh? What do we have? Let's just take a Play-Doh break. Hold up your Play-Doh. Look, we got a turtle. How do you like that? What do we have here? Oh, we have just some kind of a beautiful, what is that? You tell us.
It's not a lotus at the moment, but it's trying.
Oh, you know, there's got to be mud, right? There's got to be mud to be lotus. We know that, right? There needs to be. Anybody else have any? What do we got there? Is it? It's okay. We got something red and wonderful. Anybody else have anything going on? All right. Well, as you get your Play-Doh rocking, don't spend too much time thinking about it. That room's like the mindfulness. But if you feel all of a sudden like a heart, or you feel like a Cheeto, or an onion ring, or something, like hold that up and let us know. We need to get some sleep. We need to get some sleep. And if you have to reorganize your entire family and be like, you may have to decide as a family, we can't do that 8 o'clock football camp. I know we want to, but this family needs to get to bed. This family is suffering. I mean, what's worse in the long run? Finding a family that goes in opposite directions, that doesn't know each other, doesn't care, feels lonely and abandoned and unseen, or missing a volleyball camp or dance. Think about it as a family. Make some decisions if your family's burning, okay? You gotta get sleep though as parents. I really don't want to punish you tomorrow. I don't want you to be grounded, and I don't want to take your phone. I got to get to sleep so that doesn't happen. Go to bed, Mom. Mom, do you want a pillow? You can use my bed. Mom, Dad, go to bed. We're good. We got this, okay? We've been good since we're 7. Okay? We're 15. Go to bed. Good night. See you later, all right? Nutrition's great. And then, of course, meditate with Sangha. Meditate alone or come here or jump online to one of the meditations, okay? The other thing is attuning, all right? Another thing happens from meditation, we attune to ourselves and our children. And let me ask you this, take a moment and ask yourself, what is my child doing when they're burning? Do I know when my child is burning? Or do I know when my child burns out? What does a burnout look? A burnout looks like your child in the center of the floor, aisle 7 at Jewel. Middle of the floor, and other parents are going, oh my gosh, can't they control their kid? Well, maybe that's what that little person needs to do right now, is fall out in aisle 7 in Jewel. And no, we're not gonna spank them. We're gonna get down on the ground, hopefully, if we can, and if we can't, we're gonna let them burn. They've burned out. You know, it doesn't matter if it's ADHD, it doesn't matter if it's autism, it doesn't matter if it's non-divergent, it doesn't matter if it's just not wanting to be with you at the grocery store. It doesn't matter. What are we doing to notice the burn? Are we waiting for our kids to burn out? Do we need our kids to go, Mom, Dad, just stop please? I don't know. Right? Do we hear them? What are the early stages of your kids' candles burning? Do we ever ask them? Can we start to ask them? Not how was your day? Anything happened today that caused you any stress? Is there anything that you're not feeling good about that I can help you with? Is there anything in your schedule that's too much for you today? Do I need to call the coach? Our children are, from the minute they wake up until the minute they go to bed, somebody is telling them what to do. Am I wrong? Tell me, a teacher, a parent, that was my experience. I mean, I got some moments, but would that be true, would you say? A yes? Right? Get up, brush your teeth, go to bed, have your breakfast, go to line, get in lunch, do this thing, do this homework, get home, get it done, go to class, or coach. Now, who in this room, what parent in this room wants to get up in the morning, and from the minute they open their eyes to the minute they go to bed, someone's telling them what to do? I'm sorry, I don't see any hands. Well, let's think about our kids. We release them to a world that feels they need to manage them, which is fine. It's school and it's camp and it's whatever. But they might not be getting a lot of individual attention. They might walk in burning on fire. And home is where the refuge is. Home is safe place, okay? Are we giving them space? Are we letting them throw their book bag down and go upstairs and just whatever? It doesn't have to be the phone. If you don't like the phone, you don't like the internet and what it does, more power to you. I could talk to you about that all day. It's not the healthiest thing. Sorry, I didn't say that out loud with everybody in the room. But are we giving them a break? When I get home from work, I put my things down and oh God. Oh. If there was someone saying, guess what? I wouldn't want to come home. All right? So let's think about our kids. Are we giving them a pause? Are we teaching them pause? Are we giving them a minute to breathe? I mean, it's just an option. What's their perspective? Our kids are going to do what we model, or they're going to rebel against it. And I don't know many people that would rebel as they grow up with taking pauses, having time to chill, being able to be heard, being able to be seen, say what you need to say. That doesn't mean that you can't have a home that has some kind of organization and order and discipline. But there is something that garners a lot of respect from other people when you are seen as someone who has self-regard, self-love, self-pause, right? When our children can see that we take a minute, they learn to take a minute. When our children see that we go, just a minute, I need to paint my toenails first, whatever. They might be like, okay, in their world as they meet people, you know, I need to do this I need to get my homework done first, right? I need to do this first. So we're modeling mindfulness, right? When we're doing the dishes as parents, and our kids are like, do we turn around and say, just a minute, I'm doing the dishes. I'm paying attention to the dishes. Do you want to pay attention to the dishes with me? Your kids are going to leave the kitchen so fast. No, I want to pay attention to the dishes. I'll see you when you get in the living room. You know what I mean? And all you're doing is what you do. It's your practice, right? Of showing up and being in the moment. And we teach them that. There's other things we can do with children, and we can do with our partners too. That's called co-regulation for burn, okay? One of those things, if we think about our children, and I'm talking about children that are younger and maybe not so, I mean, I don't know. I could ask some of the young adults here, or the adults, here. But meditating together is a very important thing to do. It's a co-regulation in the household. Even if you had a 10-minute meditation before bed or in the morning, doesn't mean we can do it. Everyone's like, oh, Jacqui, that's great. You don't know my house. We can't get 3 minutes to meditate. Okay, well, if you can have 2 hours of crisis and meltdowns, you might want to trade it in for 3 minutes of meditation. Because you certainly are, families find time to melt and burn out, don't they? I can't come tonight. Melody's in the bedroom, she's freaking out. Hey, hi. Oh, what's your save. Good save. Okay. So another thing that we do is we can do things like timeouts and not punitive. And I would suggest that when you have family, everybody in the family should be able to go with your family and walk around your house, big or small, and everybody gets to make their own cozy corner. Everybody. Whether it's a chair, a pillow, someone likes a cushion, maybe if some children need some sensory, you have to have a little tent or whatever, something on the chair that swivels or a fidget, but everybody gets to pick their cozy corner. We don't do timeouts, right? We don't want to send anyone out. No one wants to be out when they need to feel in. That's what a timeout really is. It's a call for needing something, not being exiled. Doesn't mean that you can't take a space, but I like cozy corner, okay? And if your children are in the room right now, they're gonna know you didn't make it up. But build that place and teach your family that when someone needs time, mom, dad, grandma, whatever, I need to go to my cozy place, whatever you wanna call it. And everybody knows that's where you go. And your brother doesn't go in there, your space, that's your space, unless you invite him in. And your sister doesn't come in, and we don't let the baby come because the baby doesn't understand. Teach the baby. It's not the baby's spot. And mom has one and dad has one, and everybody gets it when they need it. And let your children suggest that you might need some time in your cozy space. Dad, I think you need to go to your cozy space. Yeah, whatever you call it. If the family agrees that this isn't difficult, and this is kind of where as parents we might start to feel this a little bit like, something inside is like, that doesn't sound like parenting that I know, where my child can send me to place to go relax because they don't like the new rule. Well, we learn how to modify, don't we? We make it work. Another thing that we do is breath matching, and I would suggest that it doesn't matter what age. If you feel like, maybe your young adult might not want to do it, but with a breathing technique and swaddling, babies love to be swaddled. When they're little, you put them in that thing and you swaddle them when they're crying and they calm down. It's very soothing to be swaddled and held. And when our children are suffering, or our partners, and we don't know what to do, sometimes just coming around somebody and really holding them, right? When they're angry and they're just, I'm coming near you right now, and I'm gonna put my arms around you, and we are gonna breathe together. And you sit on the floor with your child, and your child's back is to your chest, and you say, I need you to help me breathe, if your child's little and doesn't understand. And if it's a father and a son, it's like, me, I'm gonna hug my dad. Gross. Okay, fine. Then sit back to back. Hit the floor, let's go, let's sit down, and you sit back to back, and you do this thing where you're like, I'm gonna get him to breathe like me, and I'm gonna get him to breathe. I want to, breathe like me. You breathe into each other, and you regulate. And you remind your kid, whether your kid is 15, 17, 13, we are gonna do this until we calm down so I can help you with whatever you need. And you mean that wholeheartedly. Or you might ask your kids, hey, can you breathe with me for a minute? I'm just so upset, I'm so nervous about grandma, can you just breathe with me for a minute? I don't think in families that love one another will turn each other away. You just try it. It doesn't mean go home and it's gonna happen. They're just ideas about mindfulness, okay? And affirmations, okay? Affirmations are huge. Do not go to anyone in your house with a complaint or a criticism unless you can say something positive first. Nobody wants to hear it. Think about your job. Nobody wants your boss to walk in and be like, that data analysis really sucked and you gotta stay after and work on it. You want your boss to come in and go, we really appreciate everything you did. on the month end. It really helped everybody. It was very successful. And at the same time, it's important that you do that data analysis again, because that needs to be tweaked a bit. Do not go to anybody without an affirmation. No one's interested. You're not going to have any luck. And it gives you time to let people in your family know, especially your kids when you're parenting, that you see them. Doesn't mean that you're not paying attention. Affirmations are just, they're golden. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Play-Doh, and then we're going to have about 10 or 15 minutes, because we're going a little bit over, because we started a little bit over, but the food will still be there. So I want to just tell you about Play-Doh. And does anybody have any Play-Doh stuff they can share? Anything about how it felt to play with the Play-Doh? Anything? Just what's Play-Doh like in your hand? Anybody?
Well, it reminded me of my OT exercises.
Okay, that's self-care, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anything else when you're playing with Play-Doh? Yeah. Erin, it's very meditative, Play-Doh. Okay, anybody else?
It's like eating bread.
It's like kneading bread? Anybody online have ever played with Play-Doh? What's it like, Sandy, to play with Play-Doh? You're muted.
I find it calming and I find it fun.
Yes, fun. Anybody else?
I think Play-Doh and sand can bring out a natural creativity.
Mm-hmm. Yes? Anybody?
I've given little Play-Dohs like this away for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Keep them. Anything in your Play-Doh? Anybody?
I feel like I'm massaging my back.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, when you use the pressure, it's gonna go up your arms and in. Anything Play-Doh, is it just, any ideas? Would you have thought to play with Play-Doh? Would you have thought like ever to pick up Play-Doh? It's awesome. I mean, maybe it's me, but I mean, I'm watching everybody, except. All right.
Marital bond.
So I'm gonna say some things really quickly, and then we'll have time for discussion. I'm gonna read this from something because I did not memorize it. That's not my jam. I don't memorize. That's why I didn't have much luck in theater. Improv is all right. Okay, here we go. So with Play-Doh, for adults, it engages your senses, practicing mindfulness, because you focus on feeling and color. It releases physical tension, the squeezing and the releasing. It's creative expression, helps with emotional release. If you add aromatherapy, you can have enhanced relaxation when you're doing it. And you're engaging in play. You want to engage in play, being little. For kids, it helps with tactile exploration, the proprioceptive input, pushing and pulling and squeezing, sensory. It's creative. It opens, it opens senses and it opens creativity. And look what I've done. And it's good for families and parenting. What did you make? Never tell your child what they've made. When you're doing play, most important thing in play therapy, and I do play therapy, I'm not licensed as a play therapist, I want to say that, but I do play therapy, is that a, and I started to do it, where I was like, is that a, and I caught myself. Never name somebody else's creation. You might look at it and be like, is that a robot? But it might not be. It might be a dog poop. We don't know. So let other people tell you what they've created, okay? Let it be their own, okay? It's also good for mindfulness, soothing repetitive motions, mindful play, and stress reduction. So we have a few minutes, I think, because we started a little bit late. So we've got like 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, because we end promptly. That's all I've got with the art of imperfect parenting and burnout. And I do appreciate you listening and participating. And I hope that everybody keeps their Play-Doh and buys more. And we're open for any discussion about our talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're right about at time, but any comments, anything top of mind, those online over here, Adrian in the Buddha Hall, and then online.
Okay, I'll be brief, but it seems to me, reflecting on my parenting experiences here in Oak Park, that what you're talking about is something that's deeply structural and goes beyond the family. And I remember distinctly having those expectations on the parents from school, from the sports. Oh, your kid has to be in sports. Your kid has to, he's talented. He has to play a travel team, on and on and on. And you're asking, individuals to be strong enough to counter that. And I believe that the Sangha, this, in a community like this, then you get empowered to help do that, to do what's best for your family.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Everything happens, outside and inside out. But remembering too that what we're talking about is opening to ideas, opening to things that can change. It's not going to be an overnight thing. But yeah, thank you. I agree.
I find that there are a lot of new people here today for whom 20 minutes twice might have been an awful lot. And there are people for whom meditation is a tough hurdle to get to. But Play-Doh or tasting a raisin for a minute or rocking a stuffed animal on your belly, using your in-breaths and out-breaths are all mindful practices that will literally build to the ability to meditate.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, right here.
Hi, I just want to say thank you. I felt emotional during your talk just because it's like, as I become more, I practice more mindfulness, I've started judging myself because engaging in different parents, seeing what they do, and I started to see if I was making the wrong choices. And I just feel kind of like released a bit. So I really appreciate this talk.
Thank you for saying that. I'm very happy for you.
Over here.
Yeah, I was sharing with Jacqui a little bit when my children were younger. The best book that I read was called Buddhism for Mothers, and it was the first book I think I read. Excuse me. That she told it honestly, like she really said all the faults, all the things that went wrong, and then these are some suggestions to help. And so it was like a 3-book. I think it's a 3-book. Because then the third one's for older children and stuff like that. But it was just a really beautiful book. And so it was just beautiful to be here and to talk about that as well.
Wonderful. Anybody else? Anybody online? Carlene? Carlene?
Hi, Carlene.
Yeah, hi there. Thank you so much, Jacqui. Yes, I was getting also very emotional at certain parts of what you had to say. So much value, and I do think that sometimes trying to walk that mindful path as a parent or as a person can feel very countercultural. And so again, just reiterating what's been expressed in different ways before, but really the value of coming together with, in this case, other parents who are also trying to do the same helps reduce that sense of isolation or that, am I just crazy? Or, God, I really feel badly about this, and realizing when other people share, oh, you too, is part of what helps us. So that idea of having a Sangha community, not having to feel like you have to go it alone. And so thank you for helping, a lot of us feel that way. Thank you very much.
Okay, does anybody have any Play-Doh creations they'd like to share as we close? All right. Oh, look at that. Oh. Oh, we got something coming over here. Something building there too. I think your dad did an onion ring. I think he did do an onion ring. All right. Okay. Well, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you all for being here this morning.
Thank
you, online Sangha. Those of you in the room, please join us in the already bustling community room. We do have treats and snacks and more fellowship, along with coffee and tea. If you cannot stay, please have a beautiful Sunday. Enjoy.
Yes, and please remember our family series is coming up in October. We got other one-offs, but please take the flyer.
Yeah, we have flyers
that
at the
you
chairs.
might know, and or come join us. It's always wonderful information.
Have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Jacqui, thank you. Thank you. It was wonderful.
Love you guys. All right, good to see you. Put this
We can slide a chair or two back against the wall on your way to the community room. That'd be so helpful. Yeah, we can all get it done.